All right. Let's jump into this. We're diving into How Successful People Think by John C. Maxwell.
Awesome.
You shared this book with me, and you're looking to like really level up your thinking.
Yes.
Which, honestly, that in itself is a sign that you're on the right path. But I'm excited to like really dig into this with you.
Me too.
So what's so cool about this book is that it doesn't just tell us like what successful people think.
Right.
It actually gives us a framework to like start thinking that way ourselves.
Yeah. And that's what I've found really fascinating about this book.
Yeah.
Is that it's not just like, here's what they think.
Right.
It's like, how do you actually create a framework
Yeah.
so that you can think like them?
Yeah. It's like a mental workout for your brain, for like decision making and creativity and your whole approach to life.
And it is workout, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean, when you start going through this and thinking about it, it's like,
it
really does make you think differently.
So Maxwell comes out swinging right at the beginning. He says that the main difference between people who achieve big things and everyone else is how they think. And that's a pretty bold statement right off the bat.
It is, but you know what?
Yeah.
It's true. And the good news is he doesn't believe, it's just like you're born with it.
Right.
Like some people are just, you have geniuses and other people aren't.
Right.
He actually says there are 11 specific thinking skills that anyone can develop.
That's so empowering.
Yes.
Like, it's not just like, oh, I wasn't born with that gene, I can't be successful. Yeah. He's saying, no. There are actual tools that you can develop and build and strengthen.
Mental tools that you can use.
Yeah.
Possibility thinking, focus thinking, strategic thinking, all these different lenses through which to view the world.
It's like building a mental toolkit.
Yes.
Like, I'm imagining Batman's utility belt, but instead of grappling hooks and smoke bombs, it's like, it is.
Insightful ways to approach a problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as you go through and you start using these tools, you get better at using them. They work together.
Right.
They boost your creativity. They boost your decision making.
Yeah.
They help you see opportunities that other people just miss.
So where does he suggest we begin?
So the first one he starts with is big picture thinking.
Okay.
Which is not about having all the answers.
Right.
Or, being able to predict the future.
Right.
It's about embracing ambiguity, learning from every experience.
Yes.
Seeking out diverse viewpoints.
So it's like zooming out.
Yes.
And seeing the whole landscape, not just the little patch of grass that we're standing on.
He uses this great analogy about people attending a conference.
Oh, okay.
You're so focused on getting to your seat.
Right.
Is the speaker engaging?
Yeah.
But the speaker's worried about the lighting, the sound system, how they come across to the audience.
Right.
We're all at the same event.
We're focused on completely different things.
That's so true. I've never thought about it like that.
It is.
But it highlights how, we all have these biases in our own experiences that shape what we're seeing, even when we're in the same situation.
Big picture thinkers
are
able to sort of step outside of themselves and try to see beyond their own limited perspective.
Yeah.
They're constantly asking, what am I missing?
Right.
What other viewpoints are there?
So it's like being curious and open to new information.
Yeah, totally.
Instead of just sticking with what's comfortable or familiar.
And that's what ties into this next piece, which is that continuous learning.
Right.
It's about always having that hunger for knowledge.
Yeah.
Seeking out new information and skills and experiences.
It makes me think about those people who are always reading, taking courses, trying new things. These have this energy and this spark that comes from like constantly expanding their world. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be some big grand thing.
Right.
Maxwell suggests something as simple as just looking at your schedule every morning.
Okay.
And thinking about what are the potential learning moments in my day?
Yeah.
Is it a meeting with a new client?
Right.
An article in your field?
Yeah.
Even just observing how someone else handles a situation.
Oh, that's good.
So
being intentional about finding those moments.
Yes.
And approaching them with a curious mindset.
Absolutely. Now imagine you've cultivated this amazing big picture view.
Right.
You've got all this knowledge, you've got all this understanding.
Yeah.
But how do you channel it?
Right. That feels like the missing piece. It's like having all the ingredients for a meal.
Yeah.
But no recipe to bring it all together.
Totally. So how do we go from that broad perspective to making actual tangible progress?
Yeah.
And that's where focused thinking comes in.
Okay.
It's about taking all of that scattered energy and directing it like a laser beam toward your goals.
Okay, but how do you actually do that?
Yes.
Like in this world with, constant distractions, it feels almost impossible.
I know, it's so hard.
Yeah.
But Maxwell compares it to golf.
Okay.
Now, I'm not a golfer.
Okay.
But the analogy is clear. If you don't have a clear target, you're just going to be whacking the ball aimlessly.
Well, and even with my limited mini golf experience, I know that without aiming, you're more likely to end up in the windmill or the clown's mouth than
anywhere near the hole.
It's the same with our minds.
Right.
Without focus, we might be busy.
Right.
But we're not making meaningful progress.
Yeah. Towards what truly matters.
So the first step is identifying those targets.
Yeah.
Those priorities in our lives where focused effort would make the biggest impact.
So choosing the targets.
Yes.
That'll lead to the most fulfilling course, so to speak.
Yes.
Even if some holes are trickier than others.
And then once you've identified those, it's about eliminating distractions.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me about it. My phone is like
I know.
an extension of my hand at this point.
It's so hard.
Like those pop-up ads you can't get rid of.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in real life.
But carving out those spaces for focused thinking is so crucial.
Okay.
Whether it's finding a quiet workspace, turning off notifications, setting boundaries with people who derail your concentration.
He actually talks about finding a thinking place.
I love that idea.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be fancy.
No.
But just a spot where you can minimize interruptions.
Yes.
And really get into that flow state.
And then once you've got that space,
Yeah.
set clear goals for your thinking sessions.
Right.
Like what problem are you solving?
Yeah.
What decision are you wrestling with?
Okay.
Having that clarity will help you stay on track.
So it's not just about finding the time and the space.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
about having a plan
Yes.
for how to use that time effectively.
A roadmap for your mind.
Right. You know where you're starting, where you want to go, and the steps you need to take to get there.
Okay, this is really making me rethink my approach to everything.
I love it.
Like big picture for context-focused effort for action. It's like laying the foundation for building.
Absolutely. And speaking of building, he doesn't stop there.
All right.
He introduces another vital skill, creative thinking.
Okay.
And this isn't just for artists or inventors.
Right.
This is essential for success in any field.
So now we're talking about generating those innovative ideas, those breakthroughs that can take things to the next level.
Creative thinking is about connecting the seemingly unconnected.
Oh, okay.
Seeing patterns others miss.
Okay.
Asking, what if?
Yeah.
Fearlessly exploring those possibilities.
It's like those puzzles.
Yeah.
Where you have to rearrange the pieces to see the complete picture.
Yeah. And sometimes the most obvious solution is the one you completely overlook.
Right. Until you shift your perspective.
Totally.
And creative thinkers aren't afraid to break the mold. They challenge conventional wisdom. They push boundaries.
Yeah.
And they find new ways to approach old problems.
So they're like the rebels of the thinking world.
Yes.
Always questioning the status quo.
Totally.
Pushing for something better.
Absolutely. And they embrace failure as part of the process.
Oh, that's good.
They know not every idea is going to be a winner.
Right.
But they learn from those setbacks. They refine their thinking.
Yeah.
And ultimately, they come up with something truly innovative.
It reminds me of all those overnight success stories.
Yes.
Where you find out they've been toiling away for years, facing countless rejections.
Exactly.
And setbacks before they finally hit it big.
Resilience is a key trait of creative thinkers.
Okay.
They don't let those setbacks define them.
Right.
They use them as fuel to keep going.
So how do we cultivate this creative genius within ourselves?
Well, he talks about, the importance of feeding our minds with diverse input.
Okay.
So, read outside your usual genre.
Yeah.
Attend lectures on unfamiliar topics. Have conversations with people from different backgrounds. All of these inputs can spark new connections.
Well, right.
Inspire fresh thinking.
It's like creating a mental compost pile.
Oh, I love that.
Throwing in all these different ideas and experiences and letting them decompose into something fertile and new.
And don't underestimate the power of simply giving yourself permission to be creative.
Yeah.
Silence that inner critic that says you're not good enough or that your ideas are silly.
It's about embracing that childlike sense of wonder.
Yes.
And playfulness where anything feels possible.
And that leads us to another important skill.
Okay.
That might seem counterintuitive to creativity.
All right. I'm intrigued.
Realistic thinking.
Realistic thinking.
Yes.
Okay. At first glance, realistic doesn't exactly scream exciting or innovative.
I get it. But as much as we need to dream big and embrace possibilities, we also need to be grounded in reality.
Okay.
Realistic thinking is about facing facts, assessing risks, making informed decisions based on evidence.
Okay.
Not wishful thinking.
So it's about balancing that creative energy with a healthy dose of pragmatism.
Precisely. Maxwell himself admits that he used to avoid realistic thinking.
Oh, really?
Because he thought it would stifle his creativity.
Okay.
But he realized that it actually enhances it.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, he compares it to building a skyscraper.
Okay.
You need that strong foundation, that realistic assessment of the ground conditions and the structural limitations before you can start building upwards. Otherwise, your innovative design might just come crashing down.
So realistic thinking is not about being a downer or limiting your dreams.
No.
It's about ensuring those dreams have a solid base to stand on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the key ways to cultivate realistic thinking is to do your homework.
Okay.
Gather all the relevant information.
Yeah.
Analyze the data, challenge your own assumptions.
Don't just go with your gut feeling.
Right, or what you heard through the grapevine.
Right, yeah, okay.
Dig deep, ask tough questions, and get the facts before making any big decisions.
Okay.
He also talks about, thinking through the pros and cons of any action.
Okay.
And he even suggests writing them down.
Right.
Weighing them carefully, considering all the potential consequences.
It's about taking that 360-degree view.
Yes.
Not just focusing on the desired outcome.
Right.
But also acknowledging like the potential pitfalls.
It's about having a plan B.
Right.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Like hope for the best.
Yeah.
But prepare for the worst.
Exactly. And that brings us to a concept that might seem a bit daunting.
Right.
Worst case scenario thinking.
Okay.
And it's not about expecting disaster.
It's about being prepared for the unexpected.
So it's like packing a small first aid kit.
Yes.
When you go hiking.
Exactly.
You don't want to get injured.
Right.
But it's good to have those essential supplies.
Yeah.
Just in case something happens.
He actually shares a personal example.
Okay.
He always packs a carry-on bag with essentials.
Yeah.
In case his checked luggage gets lost.
Right.
Simple but effective way to mitigate risk.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
And it really highlights how, realistic thinking isn't about being negative.
Right.
It's about being prepared.
It's about making better decisions.
Yeah.
By considering all the angles. By grounding your creativity in reality.
Right.
You're setting yourself up for greater success.
Okay, so we've got the big picture.
Yeah.
We've honed our focus. We're grounded in reality.
Yes.
But how do we take all this and move forward with intention?
Yeah, that's a great question.
And purpose.
And that's where the power of strategic thinking comes in. It's about looking beyond the day-to-day.
Okay.
And thinking about the long game.
All right.
It's about having a plan.
Yeah.
Not just for your career or business, but for your life.
This is where I struggle. I'm great at tackling the immediate to-do list.
Yeah.
But when it comes to long-term planning, I get overwhelmed.
I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah.
But he provides some great insights
Okay.
into making strategic thinking less daunting and more actionable.
Right.
He actually shares his own monthly planning ritual.
Okay.
Where he dedicates half a day to mapping out
the
next 40 days of his life.
He plans out every single day.
Well, not every single day.
Okay.
But he blocks out,
Okay.
time for work, for family, for creative projects, even leisure activities.
Wow.
It's about proactively shaping his days and weeks rather than just reacting to whatever comes up.
I could see how that would be so empowering. Like being the architect of your own life.
Yeah.
Designing a blueprint.
Yes.
For how you want to spend your time and energy.
And it frees you from the tyranny of the urgent.
Yeah.
You're less likely to get swept up in that whirlwind.
Really just reacting to?
Of daily demands.
Yep.
And more likely to stay focused on your priorities.
That's really appealing.
Yeah.
Especially for someone like me who gets sidetracked easily.
He also talks about the power of systems to streamline your life and work.
Oh, okay.
For example, he's known for this incredibly organized filing system that allows him to quickly access information when he needs it.
So strategic thinking isn't just about having a plan. It's also about...
It's about having the tools and systems in place to execute that plan effectively.
Right. Okay.
Working smarter, not harder.
That's good.
And another key aspect of strategic thinking is asking the right questions.
Oh, I like where this is going.
He shares a list of questions developed by his friend Bob Beal
right.
that are all about getting to the heart of an issue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what are some of those questions?
They cover everything from direction and organization to finances and tracking progress.
Okay.
For example, what is the one activity
Yeah.
that, if done exceptionally well, could have the greatest positive impact on your life?
Ooh.
Or what is the most important decision you need to make right now?
Okay.
And what information do you need to make it wisely?
Those are good questions.
Powerful questions.
Yeah, they make you really step back.
Yes.
Think critically.
Yes.
Make sure you're focusing on the right things.
It's about making sure you're solving the right problem.
Right.
That you're heading in the right direction before you invest time and energy.
This makes me realize how often I jump into action without really thinking through the strategy.
Yeah, it's like starting a road trip without a map or a destination.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And strategic thinking is all about having that map and choosing the destination that truly aligns with your
goals and values.
Goals and values, yeah. Okay, so far we've covered big picture thinking.
Yes.
Focused thinking. Creative thinking.
Yes.
Realistic thinking.
Yes.
And now strategic thinking.
I'm loving this.
Yeah. I feel like I'm gaining a whole new vocabulary for approaching challenges and making decisions.
And we're just getting started.
Oh.
There's so much more.
Okay.
But for now, let's pause here.
All right, good idea.
Let all this information sink in.
Yeah, we'll be right back to uncover even more powerful thinking skills.
Can't wait.
From John C. Maxwell.
I'm excited.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Welcome back to our deep dive into how successful people think.
All right, so before we paused, we were deep in strategic thinking territory.
Yes.
All about planning and execution.
Yeah.
But sometimes even the best laid plans need a jolt of I don't know, optimism with a jetpack.
I love that.
You're talking about possibility thinking, right?
Yes.
This is the one that really caught my eye in the book.
Yes.
It's about believing in those seemingly impossible dreams, those what-if scenarios that most people just kind of dismiss.
Exactly. And it's not about naive optimism or ignoring reality.
Right.
It's about cultivating a mindset that's open to solutions.
Okay.
Seeing opportunities where others see only obstacles.
Okay.
He uses this great example to illustrate this.
Okay.
George Lucas and the making of Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people told him the special effects he envisioned were impossible.
With the technology available at the time?
With the technology available at the time.
Yeah.
But Lucas refused to accept those limitations.
And as a result, he not only created a groundbreaking film, he revolutionized the entire film industry.
Yeah, he opened up a world of possibilities that no one had even considered before.
And that's what's so inspiring about possibility thinking.
Yes.
It's not just about achieving your own goals.
Right.
It's about pushing boundaries and expanding what's possible for everyone.
It's about having the audacity to ask, what if we could do this?
Yeah.
Even when everyone else is saying it can't be done.
Right. But how do you cultivate that kind of thinking?
Yeah.
When you're surrounded by negativity and doubt?
Yeah.
I know I struggle with those inner voices.
It's a conscious choice.
Okay.
It's a mental discipline.
Okay.
He talks about, the importance of choosing to think positive thoughts, of shifting your focus from what can go wrong to what can go right.
So it's like training your mind.
Yes.
To see the potential in every situation.
Yes.
To focus on solutions instead of getting bogged down by the problems.
It's about feeding your mind with inspiration, with stories of people who have achieved the seemingly impossible.
Right.
Surround yourself with possibility thinkers.
Okay.
Those who lift you up and encourage you to reach for your dreams.
It's like building a support system.
Yes.
For your mind.
Yes. Yeah.
Like a team of cheerleaders.
I love it.
Who remind you what's possible.
Yeah.
When you start to doubt yourself.
Another key aspect of possibility thinking is learning to dream bigger.
Okay.
Don't limit yourself to what feels safe or comfortable. Challenge those self-imposed boundaries.
Okay.
And see what you're truly capable of.
I think that's where I get stuck. I tend to set small, achievable goals.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid of failing. But maybe that's actually holding me back.
Hippie.
From achieving something truly remarkable.
It's about challenging assumptions, exploring new ways of doing things, embracing a growth mindset, always striving to learn and improve.
So instead of asking, can I do this? The question becomes, how can I make this happen?
Exactly. It's about shifting from a mindset of limitation to a mindset of possibility.
Okay, this is definitely a skill I want to cultivate more intentionally.
I love it.
It's like opening up a whole new dimension of potential, not just for myself, but for everything I do.
Now, speaking of growth and learning, let's shift gears to a thinking skill that's all about extracting wisdom from our experiences. Reflective thinking.
So this is where we slow down.
Yes.
Take a step back and really process what we've learned.
It's so easy to just keep moving from one thing to the next without ever pausing to reflect. But that's where we miss out on those valuable insights that can shape our future decisions and actions.
So reflective thinking is about taking the time to really digest our experiences, both the good and the bad.
He uses this great analogy. He compares it to a crock pot. Letting those thoughts simmer and develop deeper meaning over time.
I love that.
It's about slowing down the thinking process, allowing those insights to emerge organically.
Right, instead of forcing them.
Rather than forcing them, exactly.
It reminds me of how some of my best ideas come to me when I'm not even actively thinking about the problem. Like when I'm taking a walk or doing something.
I know, me too.
Completely unrelated.
That's the power of reflective thinking.
Right.
It's about creating space for those aha moments to occur.
So he actually shares a personal story.
He does.
About how he used to ask his children 2 questions after every family vacation.
I love this.
What did you like best and what did you learn?
Such a simple practice, but so powerful.
It encourages them to think back on the experience. To identify what resonated with them. And to extract those valuable lessons that they can carry forward.
It's like turning those fleeting memories into lasting wisdom.
Okay, so reflective thinking also helps us to gain perspective.
It's about stepping back from the immediacy of a situation and viewing it through a wider lens.
It's like watching a replay of a game.
You
see things you didn't notice in the moment.
Totally.
You understand the strategies and decisions that led to the outcome. And you can learn from both the wins and the losses.
And that understanding can be so valuable for making better decisions in the future.
So reflective thinking also helps to build confidence in our decision making.
Absolutely.
When we take the time to consider our past choices and their consequences, we develop a stronger sense what works and what doesn't.
It's like building a mental database of experiences that we can draw upon when facing new challenges.
And it's not just about analyzing our successes. It's also about learning from our mistakes. Understanding why something didn't work out the way we hoped. And figuring out how to do it better next time.
He emphasizes that it helps us to clarify the big picture by connecting the dots between past events and present circumstances. We gain a deeper understanding of how we got to where we are and where we want to go.
It's about seeing those patterns and trends that might not be apparent in the moment. Understanding the underlying causes and effects that shape our lives.
And that leads to another benefit.
Which
is turning good experiences into valuable experiences.
It's about squeezing every drop of wisdom out of every situation.
I love that.
No matter how small or seemingly insignificant.
He quotes Mark Twain, who said, "We should be careful to get out of an experience all the wisdom that is in it, not like the cat that sits down on a hot stove lid. She will never sit down on a hot stove lid again, and that as well. But also, she will never sit down on a cold one anymore."
That's a great quote.
It is.
It really captures the danger of only learning from negative experiences.
We need to be just as intentional about extracting wisdom from the positive ones.
So how do we make reflective thinking a more regular part of our lives?
Well, he suggests carving out dedicated reflection time. It doesn't have to be hours on end. Even just 15, 20 minutes a day can make a difference.
And finding a space where you can minimize distractions. And really focus inward. Whether it's a quiet corner of your home, a park bench, even just a few minutes of solitude during your commute.
Creating that mental space is key.
Yeah.
He also suggests recording your reflections.
Okay.
Whether through journaling, voice memos, mind maps.
Okay.
Finding a way to capture those thoughts will help you to process them more deeply.
It's about externalizing those thoughts.
Yes.
Making them more tangible.
And don't forget the most important part. Translate those reflections into action.
That's where the real transformation happens.
That's where the rubber meets the road.
Okay. So we've explored big picture thinking.
Yes.
Focused thinking, creative thinking, realistic thinking, strategic thinking, and now reflective thinking.
I love it.
Our mental toolkit is expanding rapidly.
It is.
It's like we're building this incredible mental gym.
Yes.
Equipped with all these tools and techniques to strengthen our thinking muscles.
And we're not done yet.
Oh, there's more.
There's more.
Okay.
This next skill is all about challenging the status quo.
All right.
And thinking for yourself. Questioning popular thinking.
Okay, this sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
I'm always a bit wary of anything that claims to be popular.
I get it.
Because it often means just following the crowd.
Yeah.
Without really thinking critically.
You're already on the right track.
Okay.
He makes a pretty bold statement about popular thinking.
Okay.
He says it's too average to understand the value of good thinking.
Wow. He doesn't hold back.
No, he doesn't.
But he's right.
Yeah.
Popular thinking often leads to complacency and stagnation. It's about accepting things as they are.
Right.
Without questioning whether they could be better.
And that can be detrimental to growth and innovation. It can stifle creativity.
Yeah.
And prevent us from finding new and better solutions.
He argues that popular thinking often means not thinking at all.
Yes.
It's about going with the flow, following the herd, without engaging your own critical faculties.
And that can lead to making decisions based on emotion or impulse or social pressure rather than on logic and reason.
It's like those fashion trends that everyone follows blindly.
Oh, yeah.
Even if they look ridiculous. You're like, do people actually like this?
Right.
Or are they just afraid to stand out?
That's a great example.
Yeah.
It highlights how popular thinking can sometimes lead us astray.
Right. He also points out that popular thinking
Yes.
is slow to embrace change.
Yes.
It clings to tradition, to the familiar, even when those things are no longer serving us well.
Think about, the resistance to new technologies or the reluctance to adopt more sustainable practices.
Yeah.
Popular thinking can often be a barrier to progress.
Yeah. So how do we break free from this grip of popular thinking?
That's the question.
How do we cultivate the courage to think for ourselves, even if it means going against the grain?
He encourages us to start by questioning everything.
Okay.
Don't just blindly accept what you're told or what everyone else is doing.
So cultivate a healthy skepticism, a willingness to challenge assumptions, and dig deeper for the truth.
Ask questions. Do your own research and form your own opinions based on evidence.
Oh, just take someone's word for it.
Exactly.
Even if they seem like an authority figure.
And don't be afraid to challenge conventional wisdom.
Okay.
Sometimes the best ideas are the ones that go against the grain.
It's about having the courage to say, I don't agree.
Yes.
Or I think there's a better way.
And that takes confidence.
Right.
And a willingness to stand out from the crowd.
Okay, so he also suggests exposing yourself to different perspectives.
Yes.
Talk to people who think differently than you do. Read books and articles that challenge your assumptions.
Yes.
Travel to places that broaden your horizons.
The more you expand your mental landscape, the less likely you are to be swayed by popular thinking.
Right.
You'll develop a stronger sense of your own values and beliefs. And you'll be better equipped to make decisions that align with them.
This reminds me of the importance of diversity.
Yes.
Not just in terms of demographics, but in terms of thought and perspective.
Diversity of thought is essential for innovation and progress. It challenges our assumptions. It forces us to think critically. And it helps us to see the world from different angles.
So questioning popular thinking is about being curious, being skeptical, and being willing to think for yourself, even if it means standing alone.
And that leads us to a skill.
Okay.
That's all about harnessing the power of collective intelligence. Shared thinking.
Okay, so We're not just going solo anymore.
No.
We're bringing in reinforcements.
This is where we move from me to we.
Okay.
Shared thinking is about recognizing that none of us is as smart as all of us.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's about acknowledging that we all have different strengths and perspectives and experiences.
Yeah.
And by combining those, we can achieve so much more than we ever could on our own.
It's not just about getting more ideas.
Right.
It's about getting better ideas.
Okay.
When we engage in shared thinking, we challenge each other. We refine each other's thinking. And we come up with solutions that are stronger and more innovative.
It's like having a mental sparring partner.
Yes.
Someone who pushes you to think deeper, to consider different angles, to come up with your best work.
He emphasizes that shared thinking is faster than solo thinking.
Okay.
You know, in today's fast-paced world, we need to be able to make decisions and solve problems quickly. Collaborating with others allows us to leverage their knowledge and expertise, and it can significantly accelerate the process.
It's like having a mental shortcut, a fast track to solutions.
Yes.
You're tapping into a collective pool of knowledge and experience.
He also points out that shared thinking is stronger than solo thinking. Two heads are better than one.
Yeah.
But it's not just about having more brain power. It's about the synergy that comes from working together.
It's like those amazing rope bridges you see in adventure movies.
Oh, yeah.
Individually, the strands might be weak, but when woven together, they create a structure that can support incredible weight.
That's a great analogy.
And that same principle applies to shared thinking.
Exactly.
When we combine our individual strengths, we create a force that's greater than the sum of its parts.
Absolutely. So shared thinking is faster, it's stronger, and it also delivers greater value.
Okay.
This is where things get really exciting.
Right.
He argues that shared thinking is the only way to have truly great thinking.
Wow.
He believes that every great idea starts with 3 or 4 good ideas.
Okay.
And those good ideas often emerge from the back and forth of collaborative brainstorming.
It's like throwing a bunch of ingredients into a pot.
Yes.
And letting them simmer and blend together.
Yeah.
You never know what delicious dish might emerge.
So how do we become
how do we get better?
Better at this?
It's shared thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he suggests starting by valuing the ideas of others.
Okay.
And this might seem obvious, but it's actually harder than it sounds.
Yeah.
It's about being willing to listen with an open mind.
Yeah.
To consider perspectives that are different from your own.
Yeah.
And to give credit where credit is due.
It's about recognizing that everyone has something valuable to contribute, even if it's not immediately apparent.
He also emphasizes the importance of moving from a competitive mindset to a cooperative one.
So instead of trying to outshine everyone else, focus on working together to achieve a common goal.
Exactly. And that means celebrating each other's successes and supporting each other through challenges.
It's about creating a culture of collaboration.
Yes.
Where everyone feels valued.
Yeah.
And empowered to contribute their best thinking.
And once you've established that foundation of trust and respect, it's important to choose your collaborators wisely.
So surround yourself with people who challenge you.
Yes.
Who inspire you, who bring out the best in you.
And don't be afraid to seek out diverse perspectives.
Right.
The more varied your team,
the
more innovative and comprehensive your solutions will be.
So shared thinking is truly a superpower.
It is.
And it's something we can all cultivate
with
conscious effort.
And that leads us to another powerful thinking skill.
Okay.
That's all about shifting our focus outward. Unselfish thinking.
Okay, now this is where things get really inspiring.
I agree.
Unselfish thinking is about putting the needs of others before our own.
And it's not just about being nice
right.
or doing good deeds.
Yeah.
It's about having a mindset that's focused on adding value to others.
Right.
On making a positive impact on the world.
Okay.
He shares a beautiful quote from Bessie Anderson Stanley that defines success as living well, laughing often, and loving much, who has enjoyed the trust of pure women, the respect of intelligent men, and the love of little children, who has filled his niche and accomplished his task, who has left the world better than he found it.
I love how that definition expands the idea of success beyond traditional metrics.
Yeah.
Like wealth or status.
It's about the impact we have on the wheel.
Yeah, and the legacy we leave behind.
Exactly. And he emphasizes that unselfish thinking is a choice. And it's one that we can make every day.
Right.
It's about looking for opportunities to serve, to give, to make a positive impact no matter how small.
Shifting our focus from what's in it for me to how can I make a difference.
And doing it without expecting anything in return.
He highlights the joy and fulfillment that come from giving without seeking recognition or reward.
He also points out that it creates a ripple effect.
Okay.
When we act with generosity and kindness, we inspire others to do the same.
It's like planting seeds of compassion
that
grow and spread.
Beautiful.
Creating a more positive and loving world.
And that leads us to our final thinking skill.
Okay.
Which is all about bringing it all together and achieving results. Bottom line thinking.
Okay, so this is where we take all those amazing thinking skills we've developed and we apply them to create tangible outcomes.
Exactly. Bottom line thinking is about being focused.
Okay.
Strategic, results oriented.
It's about having a clear vision of what you want to achieve. And then taking decisive action to make it happen.
And he emphasizes it's not about cutting corners or being ruthless. It's about being clear about your goals and then working efficiently and effectively to achieve it.
So having that laser focus. But now we're directing it towards achieving specific outcomes.
He suggests starting by identifying your real bottom line. What is the ultimate goal you're striving for? What outcome are you truly passionate about?
This is where we get really clear on our why. Of the deeper purpose that drives our actions.
Exactly. And once you've defined that, it's about developing a strategy that aligns with that bottom line. And that strategy should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
So it's not enough to just have like a vague idea of what we want. We need to break it down into concrete steps and timelines.
He also stresses the importance of aligning your team members with the bottom line. Everyone should be clear about the overall goal and their individual role in achieving it.
Creates a sense of shared purpose and accountability.
Exactly. And that can be incredibly motivating and powerful when everyone is rowing in the same direction. You can achieve amazing things.
This brings us to the end of our deep dive into John C. Maxwell's 11 thinking skills for success.
I know. I can't believe we've covered all 11.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
And I'm already feeling inspired to apply these principles to my own life.
Hey, love that.
Remember, thinking skills are like muscles.
Yes.
The more we use them,
the stronger they become.
So
pick one that resonated with you.
Okay.
And start practicing it this week. You might be surprised at the amazing results you can achieve.
And who knows, maybe this is just the beginning.
It could be.
Of our exploration. Into the world of successful thinking.
I agree.
There's always more to learn and more to share.
Absolutely.
All right, until next time.
Okay.
Keep those minds sharp. And those thoughts flowing.
I will.
And as always.
Happy learning. Happy learning.
We're back and ready for more from how successful people think. We've already gone through 10 incredible thinking skills.
That's amazing, right?
I'm excited to hear about the final one.
Yeah, me too. This last skill is all about bringing everything together.
Okay.
Creating a framework for consistent growth and improvement.
Okay.
It's called disciplined thinking.
Disciplined thinking.
Yes.
That sounds a little intimidating.
I mean,
like something you'd find in a military training manual.
Right. Is this about like pushing ourselves to our limits?
No, not really.
Okay.
Well, discipline certainly plays a role.
Okay.
It's not about being harsh or rigid with yourself.
Right.
He emphasizes that disciplined thinking is about consistency.
Okay.
About developing those positive habits.
Okay.
That support clear and effective thinking.
So it's more about creating a structure for our thoughts, a mental framework that guides us towards better decisions and outcomes.
It's about recognizing that our minds, like our bodies, need regular exercise and training to perform at their best.
This makes me think about those athletes.
Yes.
Who train rigorously day after day, year after year.
Yeah.
They don't just show up on game day expecting to win.
No.
They put in the work consistently
Absolutely.
to develop their skills and stamina.
That's a great analogy.
So disciplined thinking is about applying that same dedication and consistency to our mental processes.
Exactly. He highlights several key principles that contribute to this disciplined approach.
I'm all ears. What are some of those principles? Well, one of the foundations is prioritizing our values.
Okay.
When we have a clear understanding of what's truly important to us, it becomes easier to filter out distractions and make decisions that align with our core beliefs.
It's like having a compass that guides our thoughts and actions, even when we're faced with difficult choices.
He also emphasizes the importance of setting realistic expectations. Disciplined thinking isn't about expecting overnight transformations or striving for unrealistic perfection. It's about recognizing that progress takes time and effort. And that setbacks are inevitable.
So it's about embracing that growth mindset. Being kind to ourselves when we stumble. And focusing on making those incremental improvements over time.
Exactly. Another key aspect of disciplined thinking is developing systems and routines that support our goals. Whether it's establishing a regular time for reflection, creating a system for organizing our thoughts, or simply committing to a daily learning habit. These structures can help us stay focused.
It reminds me of the power of habits. Like it's so much easier to stick to a plan when we've established routines that make it feel automatic.
Absolutely.
If we have to constantly exert willpower, we're more likely to give in to those distractions and temptations.
Exactly. Disciplined thinking is about making those positive choices easier by integrating them into our daily lives.
So he also talks about the importance of seeking feedback. And being willing to learn from others.
Absolutely.
Even with the best intentions.
Yeah.
We can sometimes get stuck in our own ways of thinking. Having outside perspectives can help us challenge those assumptions. Identify those blind spots.
That's such a crucial point. Disciplined thinking isn't about being rigid or closed-minded. It's about being open to new information, being willing to adjust our course when necessary, and constantly seeking ways to improve.
This whole deep dive has been so eye-opening.
It has been, hasn't it?
We went through 11 distinct thinking skills.
I know.
Big picture thinking, focused. Thinking, creative thinking. Realistic thinking. Strategic thinking. Possibility thinking. Reflective thinking. Questioning popular thinking. Shared thinking. Unselfish thinking. And now disciplined thinking.
I love it.
It feels like we've assembled an entire mental arsenal.
Yes, we have.
For approaching life's challenges.
And they all work together.
Yeah.
They support and reinforce each other.
Right.
You know, as you become more adept at using one, you naturally start to see how it connects with and enhances the others.
It's like learning a new language.
Yes.
At first, you might struggle to put together simple sentences.
Right.
But as you practice and gain fluency, you can express yourself more eloquently. And engage in more complex conversations.
It's a beautiful thing.
These thinking skills provide a framework.
Yes, they do.
For understanding not only how successful people think, but how we can all elevate our own thinking. To achieve greater success and fulfillment in every aspect of our lives.
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey.
It really has.
I hope our listeners are feeling empowered.
Yeah, me too.
To start applying these principles to their own lives.
Remember, it's not about mastering all 11 skills overnight. Start by choosing one. That resonates with you. Focus on integrating it into your daily routine.
And be consistent.
As we learn. Consistency is key.
Absolutely.
Small incremental changes over time.
Yes.
Can lead to remarkable transformations.
I love that.
Until next time.
Okay.
Keep those minds sharp.
I will.
And those thoughts flowing.
You too.
And as always.
Yes.
Happy learning.
Happy learning.